Welcome to Play IQ Trivia. Think you can still pass high school? These 60 questions will test everything you were supposed to learn in school. Most people can't score above 40. Let's see how smart you really are. Comment your final score out of 60 and don't cheat. Can you tell the difference? Think, she runs like the wind, versus, she is the wind. This one trips up a lot of people. In passive voice, the action happens to someone. The cake was eaten, not, she ate the cake. Every essay needs one of these. Do you remember what it does? The thesis statement is the backbone of your essay. It tells the reader exactly what you're about to argue. This word gets used a lot, but do you actually know what it means? Irony is when what happens is the opposite of what you expect, like a fire station burning down. Authors and readers feel different things. Can you tell them apart? Tone is how the writer feels. Mood is how you feel reading it. Same story, two different experiences. Every great story has one hidden inside it. What is it called? The theme is the big idea beneath the story, like friendship, justice, or the cost of ambition. This is one of the most beautiful tools in writing. Do you know it? Personification, when the wind whispers or the sun smiles, giving nature a human soul. Quick vocabulary check. This one should be easy. A synonym is a word that means the same thing. Happy and joyful, big and large, fast and quick. And the opposite of that last one, stay sharp. An antonym is the opposite, hot and cold, light and dark, loud and quiet. Simple but essential. Two of the most important building blocks of any story. Can you separate them? Plot is what happens, setting is where and when it happens. One is the action, the other is the stage. Up next, mathematics. What's your score so far? What is the slope of a horizontal line? Zero. It is completely flat. What is the slope of a vertical line? Undefined. The maths cannot calculate it. What does it mean to solve for x? Finding the value of the unknown variable. What is the area of a rectangle? Length times width, simple as that. What is the difference between area and perimeter? Area is the space inside, perimeter is the distance around the edge. What is the formula for the area of a triangle? One half times base times height. What is a prime number? A number greater than 1 with only two factors, 1 and itself. What is the least common multiple? The smallest number that two or more numbers both divide into. What is the greatest common factor? The largest number that divides two or more numbers exactly. What does the exponent in 2 to the power of 4 represent? How many times the base is multiplied by itself? Quick check-in. How are you feeling? What is the difference between a physical and chemical change? Physical changes alter the form, chemical changes create something new. What is photosynthesis? How plants make food using sunlight, water and carbon dioxide. What is the function of red blood cells? Red blood cells carry oxygen from your lungs to every single part of your body. And the white ones, what is their job? White blood cells are your body's army. They hunt down and destroy bacteria and viruses. What is the nucleus of a cell? It controls everything the cell does and holds all your genetic information, the brain of the cell. What is DNA? Deoxyribonucleic acid, the molecule that carries the genetic blueprint for every living thing on Earth. What is inertia? Inertia. Objects in motion want to stay in motion and objects at rest want to stay at rest. What is the difference between mass and weight? Mass is the amount of matter in you. Weight is gravity pulling on that matter. Less gravity means less weight. What is a habitat? The natural environment where an organism lives, feeds and raises its young, home in the truest sense. What is an ecosystem? All the living things in an area plus the air, water and soil interacting, it's everything affecting everything. What does Newton's first law say? An object stays still or keeps moving at the same speed unless a force acts on it. This is why seatbelts exist. What does Newton's third law say? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Rockets, swimming and walking all depend on this. What is density? It is why a block of lead sinks and a block of wood floats even if they are the same size. What is the periodic table used for? The periodic table organizes all known chemical elements by their atomic number and properties. What is an atom? So small that a single grain of sand contains more atoms than there are grains of sand on all of Earth's beaches. What is the difference between an element and a compound? An element has only one type of atom. A compound has two or more different elements chemically bonded together. What is evaporation? The liquid absorbs heat energy and the molecules move fast enough to escape into the air as gas. What is condensation? The steam from a hot shower hitting the cold mirror, gas losing energy and turning back to liquid. What is a covalent bond? Sharing is caring in chemistry. Atoms share electrons to fill their outer shells and become stable. What is an ionic bond? One atom donates, one receives. The resulting opposite charges attract and hold them together. The history and government segment. How are you doing so far? What is a democracy? Government of the people, by the people, for the people, one of the most important ideas in all of human history. What is a constitution? The supreme law of the land that sets out the fundamental rules and rights everything else must follow. What is the purpose of a legislature? They are all legislatures. Their job is to make the laws that govern the country. What is the role of the judiciary? They do not make the laws, they interpret them and decide how they apply to real situations. What was the Renaissance known for? A rebirth of human creativity and knowledge that gave us Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo and Shakespeare. What caused World War I to begin? The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary in Sarajevo in 1914. What was the Cold War? Locked in a battle of ideology, arms and influence from 1947 all the way to 1991. What is colonization? European powers colonized vast parts of Africa, Asia and the Americas. The effects are still felt today. What was the Industrial Revolution? Beginning in Britain in the 1760s, it transformed how goods were made, how people lived and how the world worked. What are civil rights? Hard fought and never to be taken for granted. This is the last segment. Time to finish strong. Do you still think you can pass high school? What is the equator? It sits exactly halfway between the North and South poles and divides Earth into two hemispheres. What is the prime meridian? It runs through Greenwich in London and every longitude measurement on Earth is calculated from it. What is the difference between longitude and latitude? Latitude runs east to west like a belt around the Earth. Longitude runs north to south like slices through an orange. What is climate? The average weather pattern of a region over a long time. London's climate is rainy, the Sahara's is dry. What is weather? The short-term day-to-day conditions in the atmosphere. Climate is what you expect, weather is what you get. What is a continent? The seven are Africa, Antarctica, Asia, Australia, Europe, North America and South America. What is the difference between a country and a capital city? The country is the nation, the capital is the city where the government sits. Every country has one. What is erosion? The Grand Canyon itself was carved over millions of years by the erosion of the Colorado River. What is a river delta? The Nile Delta and the Mississippi Delta are two of the most famous in the world, rich, flat and fertile land. What is a resource? Natural resources like water, oil and timber, and human resources like time, skills and labor, all resources. Time to see if you actually passed high school. Pause the video and count your score. Comment your score below. If you enjoyed this quiz, like, comment and subscribe for more. See you in the next quiz.